Trucker Television is brought to you by JD Factors, charting a path to growth. Forbes Hewlett Transport, don't follow, join. Diesel Spec, engine tuning experts. Welcome to Trucker Television, the best of the trucking world. This week on Trucker Television, more Atlantic Canada's Convoy for Hope, Legend of Trucking, Vernon Erb, Rig of the Week, a 2015 International from LAIDLAW van, trucking the 401 corridor with Groupe Robert. But first, reefer experts, Erb Transport.
The company was started by my father in 1959, one dump truck, and gradually that moved into some feed trucks. And 1965, Dad bought his first refrigerated truck. In 1972, Dad bought a license for hauling frozen foods to and from any point in Ontario. And at the time, there was one other license like that in Ontario, and everything was tremendously regulated. Over the years, that operating authority got a little broader and allowed us to haul more freight. 1980, the United States deregulated. That opened us up into crossing the border. 1988, Ontario deregulated, and different provinces were deregulating at different times then. So all of a sudden, the operating authority that you had that used to be an asset and cost a lot of money, anybody could get it. We had some challenges in 1989 and 90 with a lot of the new competition that came into the marketplace. And with a lot of help from our suppliers and employees, we worked our way through that. Our niche is refrigerated product, temperature controlled. Most of it is food products. Trucking is a big part of the supply chain when it's there. So, you know, all of our refrigerated units have data loggers that record the temperature all the time. We haul LTL, so we got fresh product, chilled product, and we also have frozen product. We probably have 200 or 250 multi-temp trailers that have divider walls that can haul one at one temperature and one at the other. We were some of the pioneers with multi-temp trailers. I think we bought our first one in 1990. Today, multi-temp trailers are very common, but again, you need to have all the HACCP programs that go along with it. The sanitation of our trucks, you know, washing them out and then sanitizing them, recording that part of the HACCP program that our customers demand to have the knowledge and the satisfaction that the job's being done right. So it's a complicated business. We have trucks in all 10 provinces and 48 states where we service them out of terminals in Ontario. We have Vaudreuil, Quebec, we have Quebec City, we have Winnipeg, and we have Pennsylvania, in addition to our Ontario-based terminals. But beyond that, our service area basically covers North America. When I look at our fleet, we have a lot of trucks that are from 2011 to present. My trucks from 2008 to 2011 model year, which was emissions 2007 to 10. Those are the worst trucks on the market, regardless of manufacturer. And I'm happy to say I've got rid of most of mine in there. But older than that, from 07 and 06 and older, I've got a lot of old trucks in that category, and you know, the drivers love them. They run and they don't break down. Honestly, when I look at how much the industry, and I'm talking for the truck manufacturers, engine manufacturers, how much was spent to meet some of the EPA regulations in 07 to 10, you know, if that money would have been spent on just trying to increase fuel efficiency on trucks. We'd be driving 13 miles of the gallon trucks across the board through the fleet. What's worse, a truck getting 6.5 miles to the gallon that's broke down all the time, but when it does work, its emissions are low, than a truck that's maybe got a little higher emissions, but I'm only using half the fuel in the first place.
When we come back, trucking the 401 corridor with Groupe Robert.
Diesel Spec, diesel engine tuning experts, fuel efficiency leaders, safely improve fuel economy. Diesel Spec will save you money.
Welcome to Trucker Television.
Or if you want horsepower, community leaders sponsoring Truck and Roll Honker. Diesel Spec, worldwide diesel engine tuning experts.
New Line Spray Suppression. Email us a picture of your truck and you can win a set of New Line fenders and be on national TV. New Line at truckertelevision.com. New Line Spray Suppression.
Now hiring company drivers, women and men. Late model, all Peterbilt fleet. Dependable runs, great pay and benefits. Locomote Systems, transportation specialists.
RPM Havelock, the show that has it all. Every type of cool car, all the car clubs. Artistry in iron motorcycles. Who has Canada's coolest big rig? The Trucker Television Show and Shine. Swap meet, farm equipment, boats. World-class plowing match. RPM Havelock, the show that has it all.
12-gauge customs, award-winning trucks, big rig chrome and accessories. Shop online or call 12-gauge customs.
LAIDLAW Carriers Tank is seeking liquid tank owner-operators. Competitive fuel surcharge program. Base plates, border crossings, and tolls paid. Our people and equipment set us apart.
Ontario Truck Driving School. Your path to success. Training for your future. Thousands of jobs. Ontario Truck Driving School. Closed captioning is brought to you by Robert Transport. We care. We take charge.
Mr. Robert is pretty, he likes to be ahead of everything. As soon as he hears something about new technology, he likes to get involved in it. And I guess that's how he got involved in the natural gas truck. Well, the plus, I guess, it's the economy. As far as mileage per gallon, it runs about 7 miles to the gallon like a diesel truck. Power, same thing. But I guess eventually, like we were talking, they're putting fueling tanks everywhere along the 401, and eventually there'll be some up north, and so it's a plus. It's a plus for the company. As for us driver, I mean, gassing up or fueling up, it's the same for us. It's still a coming engine. I mean, it's a diesel engine converted to natural gas. It will sound the same.
Don't be scared of the ELOD. Don't be scared of the satellite system. It's very, very practical and make your life much easier. Dispatching is so easy, so fast, and you don't have to worry about anything. It's not difficult to understand. Believe me, I work all my life with paper logbook with no satellite. But right now, I can't work without satellite. Start working highway, and after a couple of years, you can try to work local. because working local, it's much difficult to maneuver your truck, which you're not familiar with, than working highway. But in my case, I enjoy working highway. I'm home every second day. I make good money. I also enjoy being on the road, enjoy driving and listening to my satellite radio all the time. You know, I don't miss on event or news, and I enjoy it. I enjoy driving on a highway. Toronto is the 4th biggest city in North America. So traffic jam is expected. You can't have it both ways. You can have a big city like this, the 4th biggest city in North America, and you don't have a traffic. It's impossible.
There's a camera on in the bumper, on the front bumper of the truck, and see that truck up front. We're 2.4 seconds from the truck. He's running at 92 kilometers an hour. That truck up there. So I'll just step a little bit on it there, and then we'll see. It will beep. So he's running 93, 94 kilometers an hour. If like I'm not right now, I'm not on the cruise. If I was on the cruise control, the brake would come on by themselves. Without touching the pedal, the brake would come on. As I'm getting closer to the truck, it's starting to beep, and you can see that we're getting a lot closer. It's a safety feature, yeah. You have to get used to it. At first, it kind of, I didn't really like it at first, but after you get used to it, I mean, it's a good safety device. Some newer trucks, they have a sensor on the side of the truck too, like on the blind side of the truck, they have a sensor. So if they get too close to an object or something, it will beep just like this one is doing.
After the break, Legend of Trucking, Vernon Erb.
Erb Transport. Good people, good living. Now hiring company drivers, owner-operators, and technicians. Employer of choice. Call to find out why. Erb Transport. Another cool move.
Advanced welding techniques, training for success. Come see our new virtual training lab at advancedwelding.ca.
Time to trick out your big rig? Check out ZZ Chrome's huge inventory of high-end chrome and stainless accessories, bumpers, visors, pipes, LED lighting, and more. Plus custom fabrication and installation. Find us online at zzchrome.com.
RPM Havelock, the show that has it all. Every type of cool car, all the car clubs. Artistry in iron motorcycles. Who has Canada's coolest big rig? The Trucker Television Show and Shine. Swap meet, farm equipment, boats. World-class plowing match. RPM Havelock, the show that has it all.
Diesel Spec. Tuning for performance and fuel economy.
It's a big difference for the transport with the price of the fuel.
They do a great job. I was doing about 5.7 miles per gallon. Now I average between 7.5 and 8 miles per gallon.
Is fuel economy important to you? How can you not call Diesel Spec?
Not all V-twins are the same. but it only takes one oil brand to keep them running smooth and strong. Lucas. No matter the size, shape, attitude, or how you ride it, Lucas motor oils are specially blended with Lucas technology to improve performance and life of your V-twin. At Lucas, what you put in your V-twin keeps what you put on it moving forward. Lucas Oil, available at quality motorcycle retailers.
Most of the other trucks in here are trucks that Joe Weber, he was our service manager for quite a few years. Joe Weber really was responsible for all these trucks that have been restored here, because he started with one. We had an International R190 over in the corner that was one that we used to use on the highway. And after we took it off the highway, it was a shunt truck for quite a few years. It was in very good condition, but it really wasn't suitable to run on the highway anymore, so Joe and I decided we should restore it. So that was the first one we actually restored back to original. And from then on, he had the idea that we should do another one and another one, and so we kept buying some, wherever there was, mostly internationals, because Joe knew them inside out. He had worked for an international dealer years ago, and he knew them inside out, and he preferred them. And of course, I was sort of a die-hard international fan, I guess. Growing up on a farm, we had international truck and mostly international farm equipment, and so we sort of stuck with them. And unfortunately, Joe died about four years ago. He was 82 years old, and we still have a few over in our other shed that we had bought, plus at a few other places we've got some old ones stored that we had bought to be restored. And Joe told me about a year or so before he died, he said, "I think you've got enough trucks to keep me going till I'm 100 years old." And, but he lived to be 82, and then he passed away. And so since then, we really haven't restored anymore, and we feel we've got enough, more than we need really. And Joe needs the credit for what we've got here.
So if you are searching for something that's free, it's always in the heart of me.
This one here is a pretty special truck here. This is a 1948 KB6, and it's got a little over 3,000 miles on it. It still has all the original tires on it. It's pretty much original, other than we put a different rack, but the rest of it is pretty well original. So that's a pretty special truck. It was a good farm truck. It wasn't a real heavy, not a real heavy highway truck, but it was a good farm truck. And that's where it came from. A farmer had bought it, and apparently he used it to haul grain from his farm to the mill once or twice a week or whatever, and it was a short run. And then it sat for, I think, about 10 years, at least 10 years, in a shed in Pennsylvania. These ones here are KB models, and they were built in the 47, 48, 40, well, they actually started in 41, but when they changed them to KBs, they were 47, 48, and 49. And Joe wanted to have every one from the KB1 up to a KB14. Now, there was no 4, there was no 9, and there was no 13, but all the others, he had hoped that we could get them from the smallest to the biggest one. But we didn't get a 12 and we didn't get a 14, but we do have all the smaller ones and up to the 10 and 11. Joe worked on these, when he first was a mechanic back in the 50s and that, he worked on these models here. And these were before the R models came out. There was quite an improvement, had a larger cab, basically the same power in that, but they had a larger cab. And that's sort of my favorite one, this R220. This was the biggest gas-powered International in the 50s and 60s, I guess. This has a 501 cubic inch engine, and it's got a 5-speed and a 3-speed auxiliary transmission. So you had a choice at that time to get either a V8 or a 6-cylinder. And they just started getting into diesels at that same time, around that time. In the years gone by, when Joe was still very active, we would hook up this one and the other 220 to flatbed trailers and load up some tractors and take them to farm shows or to truck shows or whatever. And Joe always wanted to drive the V8, and I said, I want to drive this one. I sort of like the 6 cylinders and the 5-speed and the 3-speed transmission. So, and I know my son drove with me one time and he couldn't quite figure out, and he's a good driver, he knows all about driving, but he couldn't quite figure out what all those gears or how you shift all those gears, because years ago a lot of trucks had 2 transmissions in them, and so you had to do some upshifting and downshifting, and it was all just, you had to be a truck driver at that time to be able to shift them properly and get the right ratios.
Look for forever.
After the break, more Atlantic Canada's Convoy for Hope. And Rig of the Week, a 2015 International from LAIDLAW van.
Spady Transport, now hiring owner-operators. Join today and work for the very best. Now hiring owner-operators. Spady Transport.
12-gauge customs. Award-winning trucks. Big rig chrome and accessories. Shop online or call. 12-gauge customs.
LAIDLAW Carriers Tank. Sudbury office is now hiring quality owner-operators. Company drivers also wanted. LAIDLAW Carriers Tank. Our people and our equipment set us apart.
New Line Spray Suppression. Email us a picture of your truck and you can win a set of New Line fenders and be on national TV. New Line at truckertelevision.com. New Line Spray Suppression.
Biker TV, the best of Canadian motorcycling. Bikes, babes, and rock and roll. Biker TV.
Now hiring company drivers. Women and men. Late model, all Peterbilt fleet. Dependable runs, great pay and benefits. Locomote Systems, transportation specialists.
Diesel Spec, diesel engine tuning experts, fuel efficiency leaders, safely improve fuel economy. Diesel Spec will save you money.
Welcome to Trucker Television.
Or if you want horsepower, community leaders sponsoring Truck and Roll Encore. Diesel Spec, worldwide diesel engine tuning experts.
I'm TJ Tilcox, and I here at the Fergus Truck Show with my truck here, LAIDLAW Carriers, and yeah, beautiful day, especially for a rainy time here. It's normally rainy anyway. Good event, good turnout. Been on the road, going into 11 years on the road now, and in my driving career. Currently just run a dedicated Mississauga, Salisbury area, so regional, and it's good. It's good. I worked a long time to get a dedicated. I pull the multi-axle division, quad-axle van trailer. We run that north and south and all in the one day. This truck here is a 2015 International Pro Star. They just come with these big Magnum Moose bumpers on it. We've had some fleet changes, and we've gone to a 13-speed Eaton automatic transmission and 390 gear ratio in the truck. Under the hood is a Cummins motor, over 500 horse in it. To get an automatic like this is a big change. I'm used to 18 speeds and 13 speeds, and this one just happens to be a 13-speed automatic by Eaton, so it is a big change. You're always pushing for the clutch pedal or reaching for the gear shifter, and it's not there. I believe spec'ing the truck for the job that it's got to do not over-speccing, but not under-speccing it either. So you want it right on the money. They pull good, they work good.
When this thing started a few years ago, they were asking for some help with basically escorting with all the lights and such. So we committed a few years ago to assist, and it's a tradition now that we continue doing this.
This is a subject that's near and dear to our hearts that we really wanted to take part of and take a hold of.
It's for an excellent cause. Cancer affects everyone. It affects everyone deeply. So it's the least we can do is raise some money and help these guys and put on a great convoy.
Adam and I both work in the trucking industry in our other jobs. Adam is safety and compliance for Seaboard Harmac Transport. I work for Jerryman Trucking. We haul for Seaboard Harmac as well as Midland Transport. We are there to serve and protect truckers. They're out on the highways and so are we.
We had a great turnout of trucks. There were 23 transport units registered for the event. We had an additional 7 support units. Obviously, all the motorcycles, we had over 25 motorcycles with CAV and civilians that joined us on the way. Lots of waves, lots of smiles, a success coming down the highway. Anytime you can travel with large trucks and the motorcycles and civilians involved, that's what it's about. It's about getting along and sharing the highways and having an impact. We're fortunate enough to raise over $8,000 before the day started in corporate donations that have come in from many, many different areas. Insurance companies, trucking firms, just community support companies. Today, the drivers brought in pledges and registrations in total of $6,500. It's always about the cause, and when you see the community just keep hugging each other like that, it feels phenomenal. The trucker at home that, or in his truck, in her truck, that sees what's going on, we'd love to have you here on the event. Trucking's tough. We can't always decide where we're going to be and when, but you don't actually have to be here on the day of the event to participate. We have 7 pre-registrants that weren't able to show up today, and we still included them in the prizes and the awards, and certainly their pledges have been a part of that total that we put together. So you can still have an impact even if you weren't able to show up on the day. And next year, we're hoping the word spreads. I know the chatter every year when we come to these is people really enjoy themselves. They have a lot of fun. They see the impact that it has, not only improving the image of the trucking industry, but also in that crazy fight we have against cancer. Cancer really sucks. And the more of us that get involved in the prevention, in living better lives, in early detection, Fallon shared from the Prostate Cancer Society that, with early detection, most cancers are over 90% curable. So just to get people in and chatting with their doctors, we're so fortunate in this province that a lot of that testing is complimentary and it comes with your regular Medicare, right? Of course, we pay for it, but it's worth it for all of us to get those tests done.
Want fancy new fenders? Show off your truck on national TV. Email us a picture of your truck and we'll enter you into the 2nd annual New Line Fender Contest. We all take pride in our rides.
Send Trucker Television a picture of your truck, you can win a set of fenders just like this.
Next week on Trucker Television, Drive Van Experts, Drive Logistics. Rig of the Week, a cool B Model Mac. Quick Truck Lube, fast professional service. Erb Transport, food transportation experts. Trucker Television is brought to you by Chrome for Kids Truck Show and Shine, supporting Children's Hospital. Bryson Insurance, your partner in success for family and business. Be on Trucker Television at Truck and Roll Encore.